Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuznuz, and today I'm going to show you 10 settings that will change your life. Now, the Runescape settings are notoriously bad. They're very hidden. I realized this just playing the game, so many things that I didn't even know could be changed in settings. When I made the Soul Reaper guide recently, there were some settings to Soul Reaper that I knew about. They're like group assignments, you can enable them. We'll cover that in this video, but a lot of you had no idea that that was even possible because it was hidden in the settings. So I thought this would be a good video to kind of show you guys some hidden settings that you may not have seen before that could really benefit you and change your whole, gameplay experience. So I'm going to go through the top 10 that I found that were really useful. And yeah, we'll go through them and I'll show you exactly how to set them up. Alright, so we're going to go to the settings here and look at some of these settings. So the first setting I actually want to go with is in the inventory area of the interfaces. So if we go here, you can see it says dynamic backpack columns. So set a fixed maximum number of columns for the inventory item slots, set it to 0 to calculate this automatically. So as you can see my inventory here, we've got 4 going across, and we've got, 7 rows. So if I change this to 5, as you can see, we'll now have a maximum of 5 slots going across. I can change this up to 6. 10, although it's not going to do anything because my interface is not big enough. I can change this to 1, and as you can see, we have, I don't know why you'd ever want this, but we can change it to 2, 3, and you can see basically what it does. And I have mine set on 4 because this is just how I've gotten used to mine and like it, but you can make your inventory bigger and really mess with this and try to get it to the point you want. But I thought this was very interesting to help people set up their inventories in an optimal way, and I don't think many people knew about this here. So that is going to be our first setting. Now another setting that I want to go through is the auto teleport current skilling urns and accumulators when full. So this means when you're skilling and you're using an urn, usually you would click the urn and it would teleport. Now, if you're doing something like farming, you're going to fill up like 10 urns in, one dragon at player-owned farms. So you're going to have to click through 10 urns, and it's just really annoying. So this way, all your urns will automatically get teleported, which is really nice for any skilling you're doing. You don't really have to worry about it. You can just bring the urns and worry about nothing. So this is a really good setting here that you can use. I would definitely recommend just turning it on. Why not? Next, we're going to go under the destroy empty containers. Now, this is one that is really useful. So destroy empty vials when drinking the final dose of a potion. So I'd like to bring a lot of weapon poisons that have 1 dose with me when I go to bosses because I drink it and then that's all I need is 1 dose for that boss. So what this does is when I drink that, the vial will automatically be destroyed. So I don't have to drop the vial. I don't have to waste time doing that. It'll just be automatically gone. So this is a really nice quality of life setting that I've actually seen a lot of people, even on YouTube, that do not have this setting enabled, and it's really, really useful. So I would definitely recommend that. We're done with the interfaces for now, so now we're going to go to the combat and action bar. Now a setting here that a lot of people do actually know, but some people don't, is these two. So first one is probably the most useful one, toggle ability cooldown timer. So what this is going to do is this is going to show a timer. Let's say I use wild magic. It's going to show a timer that starts at 20 seconds and counts down. So it basically is a timer that will show me when wild magic can be used again. Obviously, you're going to have the timer that's, doesn't have a number, but this will show you your seconds left until you can use that ability again. So it's really useful for trying to get optimal DPS, because if you see, hey, I have 3 seconds so I can use Wild Magic again, you know I'll have to use like one ability and then I can use it again. So it's really nice to have those settings there, just to see the seconds left. Next we have ability queuing, which I know most people know this, but I decided I'd put it here because if you did not, I actually use ability queuing. A lot of people don't. It's really a preference. You can do a lot of good things with it. It can also mess you up if you're not used to it, but I personally really like ability queuing, and it lets you trigger an ability on cooldown. So basically, if I use an ability, I can click the next ability and it'll go off next. So ability cooldown is something that I use, so I thought it would be useful to put in here. Alright, next for our settings, we're going to go to one that is very, very useful, and it is action bar binding under the combat and action bar. So basically what you can do here is you can bind your action bars to certain styles. So basically, as you can see here, I have weapon style all magic, and I have it set to action bar 4. And I have done the same with melee 2H, melee dual wield. So basically what this does, if you look at my action bar here, if I equip a dragon battle axe, it's going to switch to my melee dual wield bar. And then if I switch to my inquisitor staff, it's going to switch to my all magic bar. Now why is this useful? It's useful in places you're going to be using more than one combat style, which people do hybrid in higher level PVM at places like Solok and stuff like that. It's also very useful even for lower level bosses like Dagannoth Kings. You have to use all 3 styles there. You can just, click your weapon and your bar will come up. And a lot of people actually don't know about this and don't have any bars binded to certain styles. It's just really nice. It doesn't take too long at all. And it can really, it's just a really nice quality of life improvement for your action bars. So next we're going to go to the settings, and we're actually going to go to camera. Now this is something that is really preference. So it's basically your camera mode. So a lot of people don't even know you can change this. So you have Modern, Classic, Freedom, and Freedom Classic. So we're going to look at Modern first. And you can kind of watch how my character, the camera kind of moves slower behind my character a little bit. So my character looks kind of like he's ahead of the camera, or that's how it looks to me. Then if we go to classic mode, which is what I play on, it just feels, I'm not sure, this feels the best to me. You might not notice much of a difference, but I definitely feel a big difference in the mode. I've actually never done these other modes, so let's go to freedom. This should allow extreme zoom, it says, which, oh yes, it definitely does. And it kind of has the same movement as the modern. I personally prefer classic, but there are these other options. And we have freedom classic, which I believe should be the same. So yeah, this is the same movement as I prefer, except I can zoom way far out. So that's interesting. I could do that. I could go with that. I don't know if I'll ever be zooming out that much, but I may try it. So these are just camera settings you can mess around with. I honestly feel like a lot of people just leave it on, the default, which I think is modern, and they don't really try any of the others. I personally really like classic. So I would give these a try and see which one fits you. Obviously, if you've been using the same one for so long, you'll probably get used to it and not want to switch it, but you can always mess around in here and see how you feel. So next we're going to go to skills, and we're going to go to Slayer. Now this is one that I put my Slayer guide, but we're actually going to go through a few here. So Slayer counter here, most people have this enabled, but I've seen some people that don't. So basically this little counter down here shows my Reaper assignments. If I right click it and click Slayer, it'll then switch and show how many Slayer creatures I have left. You can also click it and go to the collection log. And if you go to Reaper, you can switch it again and go to collection logs such as bosses. So, it's a nice thing to have. I've seen people that do Slayer and they don't have this up, so I thought I'd mention it, as well as the Reaper assignment settings. So in here, you can actually enable group assignments for your Reaper tasks, and you can make your task larger here. So you'll get a boost in Reaper points, and you'll receive twice the normal number of souls assigned per task. So if you're into Reaper tasks, these settings are very good. Group assignments will allow you to do things like Calify King, Rise of the Six, Virago next, stuff like that. I had so many people comment on my video and say that they did not know about this setting, so I had to mention it here. I had to let you guys know about it. So it is, it's pretty nice. And the last setting we're going to go is we're going to look at area loot. Now, I have always used area loot, but I know some people that have not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what area loot is. So basically, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go in my bank quick, and I'm going to just take out some sailfish and some Ceridome brews. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these on the floor. I'm going to drop some here, some over here, some over here, and we're going to drop all this stuff on the floor. So let's say you're killing a bunch of monsters, maybe Slayer creatures, and their drops are all over the floor. Well, instead of right-clicking and picking them all up, you can click right here. And as you can see, we have an interface here that has all the loot, and you can just press loot all, and there you go. You get all the loot in your inventory. My friend that has been playing for so long recently started using this like a year ago. He had never used it. I don't know why, but he really loved it. You can even set a hotkey to loot all as well. It's a really nice setting to use, especially if you're into like Slayer and stuff like that. But even in other places, like if your like yak disappears and all your food is on the ground, like what I just showed, you can just loot it all at once. It's just a really nice setting, and I definitely recommend using it. So I hope this video helped you guys out and helped you find some settings that you might not have seen. I encourage you to go look through the settings and see what you can find, because I'm sure there's more there that I haven't even found. I mean, if you look at this page, it's such a big page of different, things that you can turn on. I mean, you can go to Herblore here, virtual leveling, Grace of the Elves. They have a bunch of skills, social. I didn't even go through any of the social stuff. You can look at your broadcast that you want to see, accept aid. There's so many things that, people just get overwhelmed when they look in here. But I try to show things that were the most useful that you could use, that could increase your quality of life and make, the game feel better to you, and just nice little things that can help you out. So if this video helped you out, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're getting close to 2K subscribers, which is just insane. I also want to mention I did get channel membership, so if you're interested in supporting me, the channel, and the videos, you can look in my description, and there are different perks and stuff like behind the scenes content, bloopers, PVM trips, member only live streams. So if you're interested in that, it starts at 99 cents a month, and you can click the join button on my channel, or you can visit the link in the description. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.